You're listening to Sacks in the Basement, a production of the Broadcast Basement Limited, where every show is 30 minutes of good and comes from a basement bar on the south side of Chicago. Pull up a stool, pour a cold one, and join us right now for Sacks in the Basement. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at sacksinthebasement.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sacks in the Basement. My name is Chris Lanuti, and I'm broadcasting from my 9-foot homemade oak bar in my basement on the south side of Chicago. We've been doing this for about 2 years, but ever since opening day, we have been simulating a White Sox season. Each and every day the White Sox would play, Sacks in the Basement brings you a simulated game. All the pitches, the entire game, broadcasted to you. You can listen to it anytime you want. It comes out in the overnight hours, so it's ready for you in the morning. Find the time, sit back, relax, and enjoy a ball game. Every Wednesday, we still do our 30 minutes of Sacks, which is Sacks in the Basement, and me and my buddy Dave sit down and we talk about not only what's going on in Major League Baseball in the real world, like plans for restarting the sport, but also what's going on in the simulated season. And this is a time when we will make decisions about the roster. Two things became apparent in our show that just came out on Wednesday, which you can find on demand anywhere podcasts can be found and always at sacksinthebasement.com. First of all, the White Sox 10-8 record makes sense. It's a team coming out of a rebuild with a lot of new parts, and the manager has to figure out what works and what doesn't work. Plus, remember, two pieces of our rotation, Reynaldo Lopez and Dylan Cease, did not perform well last year. And while there is more hope for Cease than Lopez, both of them have a lot to prove in 2020. So while the offense across most categories is up towards the top in the majors, the starting pitching has been subpar. The other thing that we thought about, looking at everything over the first few weeks of the simulated season, is there's not enough versatility when guys need days off. Right now, the White Sox are in the middle of a huge stretch with no days off, and carrying three catchers makes no sense. So we decided to promote Nick Madrigal, who will make his Major League debut at home on a Thursday, April 16th, 2020, as Gio Gonzalez goes up against Kyle Gibson for the first of four with the Texas Rangers at the rate. We go out there now for another White Sox simulated broadcast from Sacks in the Basement, Cork and Carry at the Park, and Family Waterproofing Solutions. Let's go. Welcome to Guaranteed Rate Field, and using MLB The Show 20, we present you with another White Sox simulated ball game from Sacks in the Basement and sacksinthebasement.com. Hello, everybody. My name is Chris Lanuti. The Texas Rangers are in town for 4 straight, coming off of being swept by the New York Yankees, and Gio Gonzalez is out there for his 4th start. So far, 1-0 with a 4.00 earned run average and a 1.28 whip, 18 innings pitched, 14 hits, 9 walks, 15 strikeouts. And Danny Santana will lead off for the Rangers and take the first pitch high on a 4-seam fastball, 1-0 the count. White Sox dropped 2 out of 3 against the Kansas City Royals on a very short road trip and are 6-6 over their last 12 games. Outside fastball taken for a strike, 1-1. The Major League debut for Nick Madrigal, he's standing at second base today, called up by Sacks in the Basement. The White Sox will retain an extra year of control, but he will get to arbitration earlier than if they would have waited another month. 44 degrees today, it's chilly. Wind blowing out at 9 miles per hour, dead center field. Santana hitting .267 with a 1-2 count. Takes one high and inside, lays off a close one, 2-2. You can actually see Gonzalez say, "Come on," towards home plate. There's a foul ball straight back by Santana, hitting .267. The Rangers had a rough time with the Yankees. This one inside changeup, taken for a strike. The first batter is a strikeout victim of Gonzalez, and he's throwing Yasmani Grandal, who's had a few days off behind the plate. He had a full day off, and then he DH'd as the White Sox try to massage him through a very difficult stretch over the last week or so at the plate. Nick Solak comes up, hitting .188, batting second for the Rangers. Solak had a very exciting final 6 weeks of the season that made fantasy baseball kids drool over the prospects of him being a sleeper, but he's gotten off to a bad start this season. Swings and misses there, 0-2 the count to Solak. Gonzalez, the lefty, delivers high outside four-seam fastball, 1-2 the count. Really cold out there today. 44 degrees. Snow fell in Chicago yesterday. Big pileups on the interstates in the morning. And by about 11 o'clock in the morning, most of it was melted away. But that was just the sunshine doing that. The weather remains in the mid-40s. As this one is low, taken, 2-2 the count. Gonzalez into the wind. This one's chopped up the middle. It's going to be a base hit in between Madrigal and Anderson. Adam Engel, playing center field today for Luis Robert, will toss it into Madrigal, who's wearing number 92. I don't know what's with the ridiculous numbers that these White Sox rookies pick for themselves. As a low changeup to Elvis Andrus comes in. He's hitting .348 right now in the 3 spot for Texas, and he's on a 4-game hitting streak. The runner with a lead, the pitch on the way. Just misses the outside corner, 2-0. Sox had bad luck yesterday. Some really bad errors and some tough calls by the home plate umpire. And they end up dropping 2 out of 3 to Kansas City. This one catches the outside corner. Fastball for a strike, 2-1. But you got to shake it off. You got to get back in there. The pitch on the way. The runner goes. Throw down from Grandal. That is a close play. Madrigal bobbles it coming in. I don't know if he would have gotten him otherwise. That's a stolen base. Bad throw, actually, by Grandal. Looking at the replay, it bounces in. Madrigal has to basically block the ball from going into the outfield. So the runner advances, and then Andrews swings and misses at a pitch outside the zone. Gonzalez sends him packing for his second strikeout of the inning in the game. And Joey Gallo hitting .217, the lefty power hitter, who has made a career out of very low batting average and a very high OPS, as he fouls this one off down the third base line. Gonzalez checks the runner at second base. The pitch on the way. Low changeup taken for a ball, 1-1 the count. 2 outs, top of the first, 1-1 the count. The pitch. Hits the outside corner on a changeup taken, 1-2. Good movement early by Gonzalez to both sides of the plate, also moving up and down. Grandal sets up outside, calls for a changeup out of the zone. He does not chase, 2-2. Will reset with the count even. The pitch. Swung on and missed, one in on the hands, right over the top of him. Gonzalez pumped. He strikes out 3 batters in the first inning. And midway through the first, no score here in Chicago on the south side. Kyle Gibson has 3 starts underneath his belt, and he's 0-2 with a 6.91 earned run average, 14 1/3 innings, 22 hits, 5 walks, 14 strikeouts. He's a better pitcher than this, but he's off to a very poor start, as Tim Anderson, who's off to a hot start, continuing what he did last year, winning the AL batting title, now hitting .342, leads off the game. He takes a high sinker, 1-0 the count. The Rangers, 8-10, sitting 4th in the AL West. Just got swept by the Yankees in Texas, and now have 4 here, kicking off a road trip against the White Sox at the rate. This one's rocketed down the third base line, hooking foul into the stands, 1-1 the count. Gibson, the righty, delivers a low changeup. Anderson holds off, 2-1 the count. Sparse crowd, even though it's an evening game on a Thursday. The weather keeping people away as Anderson chops foul a sinker in the zone, down the third base line. The count evens at 2. Outside, taken for a ball, 3-2 the count, with Moncada on deck hitting .313 with 2 home runs and 11 RBIs so far at mid-April. The pitch on the way. Line to short on the 1-hop. Andrus over to first. He'll get Anderson by a step and a half. And that's a 6-3 putout for the first out for the White Sox here in the bottom of the first inning. Milwaukee beat Philly 5-4 in an exciting walk-off style in Milwaukee today. One of the few day games today on a Thursday. And Gibson delivers. Inside low sinker, 1-0 to Moncada. Abreu on deck. After Abreu, it'll be Grandal, Jimenez, Encarnacion, as this one's chopped down the first base line. 1-1 the count. San Diego has gone final as well, 9-6 over the Rockies. White Sox are actually going to Colorado in about a week or so. That one's taken on the outside corner, 1-2. Next pitch is chopped down the first base line, foul, as Darryl Boston skips out of the way. Gibson into the wind. Chopped foul again. Changeup low in the zone. Moncada hangs in, batting lefty against the righty Gibson. Now takes an inside slider for a ball, 2-2. Folks, don't forget, support Cork and Kerry, one of your many local businesses, feeling the strain right now. Outside pitch taken for a ball, the count goes full. Get some great ballpark food. Some amazing wraps and salads, award-winning burgers, and more. Use Grubhub or check out the entire menu at corkandcarryatthepark.com. Outside slider misses. Moncada gets the walk. He trots down to first base, so the White Sox have a runner on with one out, and Jose Abreu coming up here in the bottom of the first inning. First offering low below the knees, 1-0 the count. Gibson looks in and delivers. Low inside slider, 2-0. Moncada with a normal lead over at first base. He's 0 for 1 in stolen base attempts this year. Looped to first on the one hop. 3-6 and over to 1 where Gibson is standing on first base by the time it comes back. They double him off, and after 1, no score here in Chicago. Ronald Guzman comes up hitting .216. He's got a .638 OPS. He's the 5 hitter in the lineup today for the Rangers. The left-handed batter against the lefty Gio Gonzalez. Gonzalez into the wind. The first pitch of the second inning is a strike on a two-seam fastball at the letters. Guzman has scored 4 runs in his last 3 games, so he has found a way to be productive during a rough stretch for him. Swings and misses at a changeup low, 0-2. Quickly, Gio has an 0-2 count, and the pitch on the way. Swung on and missed on a changeup outside, and he sets down another one. 4 strikeouts so far for Gonzalez through 1 1/3. All 4 outs have been by the K. Here's an old friend, Todd Frazier, the Todd father. Wearing number 21, steps in hitting .120, visiting his old stomping grounds here on the south side of Chicago. Picked up by the Rangers as Gio delivers a ball outside and then a changeup taken for a strike. A long time ago in 2007, he was a first-round draft pick. He has had quite the career. Swings and misses at a low changeup, 1-2 the count now. Gonzalez into the wind, the quick pitch, and he almost gets him. Fouls off a 4-seam fastball with the end of the bat. 1-2 the count remains. The pitch. Chopped back off the umpire's mask. 1-2. Gonzalez gets in the swing and an outside changeup, tailing out of the zone. 5 outs, all of them strikeouts for Gio, as he is all over Texas hitters right now. 2 outs, top of the second. Robinson Chirinos comes up and whacks one into deep left field. Over the head of Jimenez and off the wall. Jimenez, though, got that in quickly to Anderson, and Chirinos is not a very fast runner. He retreats back to first base. That was a line shot. It hit the dirt, actually, right in front of the wall in left field in front of the bullpen, as Jimenez leapt for it to try to take it out of the air, but was able to corral it immediately when it came down. Bounced right back into his glove. So now Rougned Odor steps in and takes one inside for a ball, 1-0. The number 8 hitter in the lineup, Rugi, as his teammates call him, is now 1-1 with an outside fastball right on the corner taken. 2 outs here. Top of the second, runner on first. The pitch on the way. Chopped back to the backstop, 1-2. And again, Gonzalez working ahead of a hitter. The pitch. Also fouled back. Count remains 1-2. Gio has struck out 5 so far in this game. And this is his 37th pitch, which is his 6th strikeout. Swung on and missed on the outside corner and low. Gio's got 6 strikeouts through 2. No score. We go to the bottom of the second inning, and Yasmani Grandal, who's got to toss it around 6 times after 6 strikeouts in the first 2 innings by his starting pitcher, comes in batting lefties, a switch hitter, but against the righty Gibson, he will bat lefties, hitting 200 even, and takes an outside slider for a ball, 1-0. They're putting a shift on him right now. Frazier is playing short, and then you have 3 players from second base to first, with the second baseman Odor standing in shallow right field. Low sinker taken for a ball, 2-0. I've noticed this with all the new White Sox acquisitions. They all bring about shifts. Mazara brings about a shift, Encarnacion brings about a shift, and Yasmani Grandal brings about a shift as this one catches the outside corner, 2-1 now. Inside pitch, fouled off down the third base line. 2-2 now the count. Gibson into the wind. This one's chopped foul back to the backstop. The pitch on the way. Inside, almost hit him. Had to turn his whole body to dive out of the way there. The count goes full as Grandal gets back into the box on a chilly night here on the south side of Chicago. The pitch, outside, ball 4. So Grandal will go down. That's the second free pass from Gibson, who has yet to give up a hit. Meanwhile, his counterpart, Gonzalez, has struck out 6 but given up 2 hits. Both pitchers, though, keeping down the offenses at this point. Eloy Jimenez comes in hitting .254. He was up to .279 at one point during that Royals series. It dipped back down again, but it's still a lot better than the first few weeks of the season. Jimenez yanks this one deep into left center field, carrying back towards the wall. It'll be caught against the wall, and Grandal will retreat back to first base. He gave that one a ride all the way to the wall in left center, but it was for naught. The wind is blowing straight out at 9 miles per hour. Get it up there and see what happens, as Edwin Encarnacion has been a roller coaster when it comes to batting averages. The first week of the season, he was around 200. Then he got himself up to about 320. Now he's back down to 233. A series of ups and downs. He leads this team in strikeouts by not just 1 or 2 strikeouts, but by 7 at this point. 7 more than the second most strikeouts on the White Sox. He's 2-0 right now on 2 low pitches that miss. He had a day off yesterday to clear his head. He's at first base today, while Abreu DHs. Swung on and missed on a slider tailing away, 2-1 the count. As we all anxiously await the first at bat for Nick Madrigal coming up soon in his major league debut. 3-1 the count with Nomar Mazara on deck. 1 out in the bottom of the second with Grandal on first. Gibson stares in for a long time. He takes his time on the mound. The pitch on the way. Inside 4-seam fastball, he walked him. Third free pass for Gibson in the game as Mazara steps in, hitting .218 and still feeling the sting of being one of the reasons the White Sox let one go yesterday in Kansas City. First pitch, grounded up the middle, flipped from short to second and over to first. And Nomar, I like to swing at the first pitch every time Mazara hits into the 6-4-3 double play. After 2, no score here in Chicago. Hunter Cole steps in, hitting .267. He's the 9-hitter on this team. As there's no score here in the top of the 3rd inning, and Gio Gonzalez goes to work, inducing a foul ball immediately. 0-1 the count. Gonzalez enters the 3rd with 37 pitches. This one's outside for a ball, 1-1. Gio has been one of the better pitchers in the rotation. If you had to pick the 2 best to this point, you would go with the 2 newest pitchers to the staff, Gonzalez and Keuchel. As this one is taken for a strike, the count evens at 2. 2-2 count to the 9-hitter Cole, the pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. 7 strikeouts through 2 1/3 innings. Starting to get comical now. Wow. And I say that the 2 new additions in Gonzalez and Keuchel are the 2 best out there right now because Lucas Giolito has been more bad than good early on. Dylan Cease had a masterful game almost a week ago here against the Twins, but otherwise has struggled, including yesterday. The count is even at 1-1 quickly for Danny Santana as the lineup flips. And the leadoff hitter 0 for 1 is back up again. And although Reynaldo Lopez was red hot at the beginning, he came back down to earth big time in his last outing. Swung on and missed, 1-2 now. So Gio and Dallas have been steady for the White Sox. This one's flied out to dead center field. Engel camps underneath it. And that's 1 out. Luis Roberts getting a break. He's been struggling a little bit at the plate. You can't overdo these rookies, especially when they're getting used to things. Ricky Renteria even saying that Nick Madrigal is not going to be every day at second base, but he'll play the majority of games at second base. Probably get 1 to 2 days off a week as they get this kid acclimated. And in reality, bringing him up now is Not only because it's time, but because this team needed another infielder. Ground ball up the middle, and there's a runner on. So Gonzalez has given up a hit in each one of the first 3 innings and has struck out everybody else to this point as Nick Solak is on with a seeing eye single that skips over the mound over second base and rolls in to center field. Elvis Andrus comes in 0 for 1, and pitch number 50 on the game from Gonzalez is a high 4-seamer for a strike. I would tell you what Andrus did, but basically if you're 0 for 1 in this game, it was a strikeout so far. 7 under Gonzalez's belt. Now Andrus goes 2 and 1. The lefty looks at the runner on first and delivers. Chop back foul, 2 and 2. The pitch. This one's chopped down the third base line, foul. 2 and 2. Outside pitch taken, 3 and 2 the count. Joey Gallo waits on deck with 2 outs here in the top of the third inning and a runner on first. The pitch to Andrus. This one is chopped to first. Encarnacion will bobble but keep it in front of him, pick it up and step on the bag. And the inning is over. Midway through the third, no score in Chicago, with the White Sox still looking for their first hit. Adam Engel comes up, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Family Waterproofing Solutions. I'm not going to tell you anything you haven't already heard on this broadcast, but I just want to make sure you remember that everything they sell at Family Waterproofing Solutions, part of it goes towards first responders. This one is grounded up the middle. Andrus dives and knocks it down, but he will be unable to get Engel running down the first base line. He is safe at first, no throw over. It's going to be scored a base hit, and Adam Engel is on. 1 pitch, and he's got a leadoff hit, and Nick Madrigal comes up, the number 9 hitter today, and his first pitch in the majors is a strike taken on a 4-seam fastball up in the zone. Madrigal does not strike out a lot, at least he didn't in the minor leagues. The majors are a whole other animal, and that big man Kyle Gibson's up there, and he delivers. Outside pitch taken, 1 and 1 the count. He was a first-round pick in 2018, and he's up here now in 2020 on April the 16th, and he takes an outside pitch, 2 and 1 the count. Anderson waits on deck, no outs here in the bottom of the third, as we watch the debut of Nick Madrigal. The pitch. Low sinker caught the zone at the knees, 2 and 2 the count. He has yet to lift the bat off of his shoulders. He's known to be an aggressive hitter, swings and misses on a sinker tailing inside. So his first at bat, if you had it in the pool that Nick, I don't strike out a lot, Madrigal is going to strike out on his first at bat, you win. 1 out now. Here in the bottom of the third as TA comes up 0 for 1 with a ground out in the first inning. So remember, Family Waterproofing Solutions donates a portion of every job to first responders and veterans organizations, which is more important now than ever. This one's rocketed into left center field gap, and it's going to get down. It's going to roll back to the wall. Engel's on his horse. He's going to round third as it's picked up. He's going to come all the way around from first and score on the Tim Anderson double into the left center field gap, and the White Sox lead this game 1-0. Both outfielders took forever to get to that ball as it rolled. It did not land deep. It just rolled to the wall. And there's too much speed there. Adam Engel scores as Moncada comes in and takes an outside sinker for a ball. 1-0 the count with 1 out in the bottom of the third, and the Sox are the first to strike, leading 1-0. Gibson to the left-handed hitting Moncada, inside 4-seam fastball, 2-0. Go online, details coming up here after this half inning. See everything that Family Waterproofing Solutions can do and know that they can do the estimate with video conferencing right over the phone, and they have special measures they're taking to keep you and them and everybody involved safe during these trying times. Get that work done while you can, and when you have the time to look at it, you now have the time to get it done. And they just announced a new financing plan that they have to help out people during this difficult time as well. So go check it all out at Family Waterproofing Solutions. Details coming up here at the end of this half inning. 3-0 count to Moncada, the pitch on the way. And that's a get-me-over sinker. Not really a fastball. He takes it for a strike, 3-1. Anderson leads off of second base with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. And the pitch. This one's chopped foul, almost took Darryl Boston's head off. The count goes full after being 3-0. Gibson looks back at Anderson and delivers. This one's also fouled off down the line. Moncada hitting .313, walked in the first inning, and fouls this one off down the third base line. Swung on and sent out into shallow left field. It'll be a nice play made by a charging outfielder for the second out of the inning. So there's 2 outs in the bottom of the third, and Abreu comes up, hitting .279 on the season. Grounded out in the first inning, he's got Anderson in scoring position on second. Gibson with his 47th pitch of the game. Inside fastball taken for a strike. Abreu sitting on 184 career home runs over 6 seasons. Let's see 185 right now. This one's fouled off, 0-2 the count. Wind continues to gust on a cold, blustery day that has now turned into evening. 0-2 the count remains after a few foul balls as Anderson leads. Inside sinker taken for a ball, 1-2. Gibson's up to 50 pitches now here with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. He delivers. Swung on and chopped to second base. Very easy play by Odor as he throws out Abreu and ends the inning. But not before the White Sox get their first run of the game and lead the Rangers after 3, 1-0. Foundation issues not properly handled can be costly. Family Waterproofing Solutions is owned by Ken, a veteran of the United States Marines, and his wife Maria, making them a veteran-owned business and a female-owned business that will diagnose and repair wet or leaky basements. And while they're located on the Sox side, Family Waterproofing services the entire Chicagoland area and Northwest Indiana. And now, after taking time off to ensure they can do things safely and securely for you, Family Waterproofing is back in business and doing jobs. Plus, part of the proceeds for every job that they do are donated to veteran and first responder organizations to support our frontline defenders. And currently, Sox in the Basement listeners have access to special pricing when they contact Family Waterproofing Solutions now, 708-330-4466, or visit them today at FamilyBasementWaterproofing.com. Joey Gallo comes up 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Gio Gonzalez has been striking out a lot of guys today as he throws a 12-6 curve for a ball below the knees. 1-0 the count. The next pitch on the way. Inside taken for a ball, 2-0. Gallo has dangerous power. There's no other way to describe it. The man can hit bombs, but average-wise is not the kind of guy that's going to get on base a lot. As Gio continues to work him inside but misses again, 3-0. So a hitter's count to a dangerous hitter here in the top of the fourth inning to lead things off as the Sox lead 1-0. That's a get-me-over fastball that gets over. 3-1 the count. If you're Gallo, you have a bad batting average, and you hit for power, I don't know why you don't have a green light there. He now chops off the same pitch, and the count goes full. Gonzalez on 61 pitches here in the top of the fourth. Delivers number 62, and that one is ripped down the first base line, hooking foul. A few sections before it would have been fair for a home run. The next pitch on the way. High. He was trying to throw around him there and hoped he would swing it, but he wasn't giving him anything to hit after that last one. Gallo is going to walk down the first base. The first free pass by Gio, who has a whip that has been very, very respectable. Does not give up a lot of walks and hits per innings pitched. But he's got to run around here to lead off this inning. And the first pitch to Ronald Guzman is a swinging strike inside on the hands. 0-1 the count. The next pitch just misses on a curveball outside, 1-1. They're playing something on the scoreboard. Fans got really loud for some strange reason. They better not be trying to do the wave. I'm not putting up with that here. I'll shut this simulation down right now, young fella. Next pitch outside corner, misses, 2-1. Gonzalez looks at the runner Gallo and delivers. Checked it up, but it didn't matter. That's a strike just above the knees. 2-2 now to Guzman. No outs, top of the fourth. The pitch. That one's chopped back into the nether regions of Yasmani Grandal. That's why you wear a cup. Remember that, boys. The pitch. That one's outside changeup, 3-2. The count goes full. So Frazier's on deck. The first two batters of this inning have gone full against Gonzalez. The first one walked. What will happen here to the lefty Guzman? The pitch on the way. Chopped back to the backstop. Gio with the pitch. Also fouled away. Gonzalez using a lot of pitches. 8 pitches in this at bat alone. He delivers. Another one fouled off. This will be his 10th pitch to Guzman as he sets and delivers. Swung on and missed four-seam fastball right down the middle. You nibble, you nibble, you nibble. The guy never thought you were going to throw one right down the middle as fast as you could. And it works out as Todd Frazier comes in 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a runner on first with one out in the top of the fourth inning. The pitch from Gonzalez, check swing strike on a 12-6 curveball on the outside portion of the plate. 0-1 the count. He delivers. Swung on and missed on a changeup tailing away. 0-2 the pitch. This one's chopped back foul. The next pitch is outside, a changeup misses. 1-2 the count to Todd Frazier with a runner on first in Gallo, who is not a threat to steal. This one's low. Frazier does not chase. 2-2 the count. Gonzalez has struck out a lot of players today, and he strikes out another one. Wow. Gio Gonzalez with his 9th strikeout of Frazier, inside on the hands, and he swings right underneath it. 9 strikeouts today for Gio Gonzalez, but it has taken a lot of pitches to get all those strikeouts. Guys are going deep into counts with him. With 2 outs here in the top of the fourth, this is his 80th pitch of the game. And it's a high four-seam fastball taken for a strike. Robinson Chirinos is 1 for 1 with a single in the second. He was stranded. He's hitting 175 so far on the year. Gallo leads off of first. The pitch on the way. Low outside changeup, 1-1. Gonzalez has been masterful in getting the strikeout. Heck, the defenders are bored. But he is wearing that arm out as this one just misses inside, 2-1. The pitch. Inside taken, 3-1 now the count to Chirinos with Rugi Odor waiting on deck. Next one is cracked in the left field going back deep. It may carry over. Jimenez looks up, and that is gone. A 2-run home run, 394 feet into left field that got out of here at 103 miles per hour. And the Rangers now lead 2-1. 9 strikeouts by Gio Gonzalez, coming up to 90 pitches in the game very soon. The Rangers have waited him out, and with one big swing of the bat have changed what's going on in this ball game considerably. As Odor steps in, 0 for 1. Inside fastball taken for a strike, 0-1. 29 pitches so far in this inning for Gonzalez. It was pitch number 28 that did him in. And now that White Sox offense has to do more than just get 1 run. The pitch. Outside lined into the dugout down the third base line, 0-2. Now a low curveball misses for a ball, 1-2. 2 outs, top of the fourth. 1-2 to the 8-hitter Odor, who will lift one out deep in the left field that's going to carry back to the wall, and it will hit the wall and bounce over it. It actually hit at the base of the wall, hit the dirt, and bounced over it. I don't want to give the impression that it hit the top and went over. That is not a home run. That's a ground roll double. It was weird. It kind of hit the wall, hit the dirt, popped straight up in the air, and then somehow ended up on the other side of the fence. So that's a ground roll double, and Hunter Cole comes out. Don Cooper talks very quickly with Gonzalez. He's back in the very first pitch down the first base line, deep, near the pole, hooking foul. Gio Gonzalez was red hot, but this will be his 90th pitch, and he isn't even out of the fourth inning. Looks like a bullpen day here for the White Sox unless he can get it together, which is a shame based upon how he pitched earlier, as the next one is sent back to the backstop, 0-2 the count. Let's see if he can power through Cole here. Checks the runner at second and delivers. I thought that was strike 3 in the outside corner. Cole gets a break, 1-2. I think Gio's like, that's been a strike all day. I punched out 3 guys on that pitching alone. What's going on here, ump? Next pitch inside. That one he doesn't get. 2-2 now the count. Few smattering of boos, although I do think that was a ball. The 2-2 pitch now on the way in the top of the fourth. Misses. 3-2. Gonzalez struggling with Santana on deck. The pitch to Cole. Swung on and chopped foul. 3-2 count. Gio looks in and delivers. This one's foul down the third base line. The amount of pitches he has had to make at this point in the game is mind-boggling. The line is going to look so strange with the amount of strikeouts. And then the fact that he's probably going to pitch 4 innings in this game. Gonzalez having a tough fourth inning. He delivers. This one is sent out in the left field. It's going to be a base hit. The runner's going to come around and score easily. As Jimenez gets it in, it is now 3 The tag at second base. They are going to get the hitter trying to stretch a single into a double. The run is still going to count, though. So they get lucky on a base running mistake that gets them out of the inning, but not before the Rangers put 3 on the board, and they lead midway through the fourth 3-1. White Sox have to be thankful that Cole decided to go for the double. Jimenez realized very quickly that there was no way he was going to get the runner based upon where he had to get that ball in the corner in left field. And he makes a great throw into Madrigal, who will tag out Cole to end the inning. Otherwise, it would have continued. And who knows where it would have gone after that. Gio Gonzalez, almost near 100 pitches. Sitting on 97, I believe, right now. Carson Fulmer and Kelvin Herrera warm up in the bullpen. And Yasmani Grandal, who walked in the second, comes up, with the White Sox now trailing 3-1 in the bottom of the fourth inning. And the bats need to warm up because they are trailing now. Gibson delivers. This one's ripped deep down the first base line, hooking foul right before the pole, as Grandal tries to get a run right away. The next pitch, low, taken for a ball, 1-1. A lot of game left here, but I get it if somebody's frustrated. The White Sox have lost 3 of their last 4 games. After taking the first 2 against Minnesota over the weekend, they lost on Sunday, they lost on Monday, where they were completely flat, scoring only 1 run for the first time all season. They come back and play a good game on Tuesday and then completely throw away yesterday's game. And I know if you're a fan and you're listening, you're getting frustrated. Trust me, I'm getting frustrated. But if you look at the overall record and what they're doing, it makes a lot of sense for early in the year for this White Sox team, and they are above 500. Ground ball to first base is going to be fielded cleanly. Steps on the bag, unassisted put out by the first baseman. There's 1 out now in the bottom of the fourth as Eloy Jimenez steps up to the plate. He gave it a ride last time, caught at the track against the wall in left center field. They put a shift on for him. Guzman, the first baseman, is playing second, and then everybody else is lined up between second and third. The pitch, low, outside slider, 2-0. Sox can't get anxious. There's a lot of game left to be played, and the bullpen's been pretty solid. If Gonzalez can only go 4 today, that's disappointing, as that swung on and missed on a sinker inside. 2-1 the count. But all is not lost. Next pitch is low, 3-1. Encarnacion's on deck, hitting .233. Lots of hoodies, lots of jackets out there tonight, as it is chilly on the south side. Inside slider taken for a ball. Jimenez goes down to first base. Gibson has walked a lot of batters in this game, but it hasn't hurt him. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, Gio Gonzalez was doing great keeping guys off base and striking out 9 guys, and yet somehow ends up giving up 3 in the fourth, and his team trails. As Encarnacion steps in the first pitch is outside, taken for a ball. 1-0 the count. Encarnacion is 12 for 36 lifetime against Gibson, with 3 home runs. This one swung on and missed on a low slider, 1-1 the count. It's a home run every 12 at-bats. Please tell me he's due. Swung on and missed on a slider outside, 1-2 the count. Jimenez leads off of first, 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. The pitch. This one is sent deep into left field, but it's not going to get out. Near the track, it will be caught. Jimenez retreats back to first base. And there's 2 outs now in the bottom of the fourth for Nomar Mazara, who has swung at the first pitch more times than I've ever seen a player swing at the first pitch. Very little plate discipline, and very rarely when he swings at the first pitch does anything good happen. This one is fouled off down the third base line. He's 2 for 9 lifetime against Gibson. And remember, came from this Rangers team. So he's familiar with these guys, and I'm sure he wants to show them that they shouldn't have traded him away. This one's low, a changeup, 1-1 the count. 66 pitches for Gibson right now with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Big difference between what he's doing and what Gio Gonzalez is doing. Again, though, you look at the stat line through 4 innings, and you take out the score, you would think Gio was killing it today. 2-2 as that one's outside. Counts even. 2 outs, bottom of the fourth. Jimenez takes a lead off of first base. The pitch to Mazara. This one's chopped to short. Easy play. They'll take the force out at second base. 6-4 on the putout. And the inning is over. After 4, the White Sox trail 3-1 on the south side on a cold and windy night. The White Sox are going to have Kelvin Herrera start the 5th inning. He has 6 appearances. He's 0-1 with 7 1/3 thrown, a 2.45 earned run average, 4 strikeouts to 4 walks. So the righty's going to come in for the lefty Gonzalez here, who only goes 4 and gives up 3 and threw nearly 100 pitches. So that is not a good outing for Gio Gonzalez. He's got 9 strikeouts in the game, but cannot get through 6 innings. Can't even get through 5. He only pitches 4 even. And Santana leads off the inning and is 2-0 quickly against Herrera. The pitch on the way. Inside fastball swung on and missed, 2-1. Next offering ripped down the first base line, tailing foul before the pole. Rangers showing an awful lot of thump in their bats here on a cold night. Much more than the White Sox. A lot of their foul balls are very close to becoming home runs. The count is even at 2-2. The pitch. This one's also lifted deep down the first base line. Hooking foul. Herrera's not fooling him. He's way out in front of it. 2 in front of it. Santana waits, and this one is a high 4-seam fastball taken 3-2. The count goes full. The pitch. Outside taken for a ball. And Herrera will walk Danny Santana. Nick Solak comes in. He's hitting DH tonight. He's in the 2 spot, and he's 2 for 2 in this game. Came into the game hitting 188. And the youngster, batting righty against the righty Herrera, swings at this first pitch and rockets it down the third base line, foul. Next one is also foul down the third base line, slow roller. This one's low and outside, 2-seam fastball, 1-2. Herrera checks the runner at first and delivers. In the dirt, almost got by Grandal, who keeps it in between his legs. Runner holds, 2-2, top of the 5th. Next pitch, high and outside and a slider, 3-2 the count. Andrus sits on deck. White Sox looked really solid on the mound today, but now that 4th inning by Gonzalez and Herrera out here in the 5th has looked shaky. Gets the strikeout looking. Solak thought he was walking down to first. A low inside off-speed pitch that catches the corner of the plate, and that's 1 gone. Andrews comes up now, 0 for 2. Herrera delivers. Outside corner misses, 1-0. Strikeout and a ground out for Elvis Andrus. The pitch. This one's sent out into shallow right field. Mazara's going to come in and get it. Runner holds, 2 outs. Joey Gallo's up. He's got a walk and a run scored. Scored on a 2-out home run. When Gio Gonzalez was hoping to finish off the inning and escape, he was unable to Houdini it, which he has done earlier in the season. Being one of the more consistent pitchers the White Sox have had, this has not helped the problems they're having with their starting rotation. We've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. There's a reason this team has been .500 after the first week of the season. 6-6 over their last 12. Losing 3 of their last 4 as this is swung on and missed, 1-2, and it's because of the starting pitching. It has been subpar, and they're not going deep into games. And it's now starting to tax the bullpen. Inside fastball taken for strike 3. That will end the inning. Midway through the 5th, Rangers lead 3-1 over the Sox. Adam Engel comes in. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, he'll lead it off. Batting in the 8th spot, he's 1 for 1. Playing for Luis Robert in center field today. Gibson throws a slider down the middle, it's fouled back. Engel scored 9 times in the last 9 games. A low slider, though, taken for a strike, 0-2 the count. Jesse Chavez, the righty, and Brett Martin, the lefty, warming up in the Rangers bullpen right now. Although Gibson seems to have a lot more pitches to give, sitting on pitch number 71 here, as he winds and delivers. Swung on and missed on a low slider, 3 pitches, 1 out. As Engel goes down swinging for only the 2nd strikeout of the game for Kyle Gibson, the big righty from Texas. And Nick Madrigal, who was his first strikeout of the game, comes up for his 2nd major league at bat. He is a tiny man. It's like Frodo Baggins is hitting for the White Sox right now. This one is ripped into right center field, and that's his first base hit, and it's going to get to the wall. Madrigal's going to get a double for his first base hit. He gets in the second base standing. Now he's going to try for third. He's going into third base to throw, and he's safe. Madrigal hits a triple for his first major league hit. He gets it into the gap in right center field, and he was fast. Get that ball. They're going to get that and keep it inside the dugout as Nick Madrigal gets a triple on his first base hit and his second at bat ever. Encarnacion has the ball for him. He'll hold on to that. When he got the second, the ball was being picked up, and I thought he was just going to pull up as he was coming into second base. But he had his head down, and he was hitting the triple. That's some aggressive play by Frodo. And I'm going to call him Frodo every time if he gets hits like that. So now, with one out, Tim Anderson comes up, and his job is to get this run in and cut this lead in half that the Rangers have. You really want to see this run get in. Let's plate Madrigal for his first run as a major leaguer. And the guy up there is the right guy up in the moment. 1 for 2. One of the best hitters in the majors. In the first one, he just puts it right up the middle, ground ball in the center field for a base hit. Madrigal will score, and the lead is cut in half. The White Sox now only trailing 3-2 with TA on first base. And Moncada coming to the plate. Anderson with a leadoff at first base, currently sitting on 8 stolen bases on the year. First pitch, an outside sinker taken for a strike. 0-1 the count. Moncada walked in the first, was out in his second plate appearance. He's 0 for 1. Gibson looks in, checks the runner Anderson. The pitch, Anderson's going. Low pitch taken for a ball, dropped by the catcher Chirinos. There's no throw. Anderson steals his 9th and is now tied with Luis Robert atop the majors in stolen bases here on April 16th. The next pitch, a sinker, fouled off down the third base line, 1-2 to Moncada. With a runner now in scoring position, the pitch. Inside and hit him on the hip. Moncada will advance to first on a hit by pitch. So first and second now for Abreu, the designated hitter today, who will come up with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. He's got 2 ground outs so far. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Moncada leads at first, Anderson at second. Gibson looks at the runners. They're both moving. Hit and runs on. Chopped ball. They're not going to be able to get the runner at second. They're going back over to first. They will get Abreu, but the hit and run was on. A quick ground ball to second base. Odor flips it quickly to Andrus, but Moncada's on the bag and ruled safe. They're going to get Abreu at first by a hair. So the runners in motion prevent the double play. And with second and third and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th, Yasmani Grandal comes up as the White Sox threaten here in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch from Gibson. Inside slider taken for a ball, 1-0 the count. The Sox working it up on the base paths right now, doing everything they can. A low sinker taken for a strike, 1-1 the count. Grandal's 0 for 1, and he's got a walk. Moncada's on second, Anderson on third, 2 out. Outside pitch, 2-1. Fans up. Sox have already scored 1 here in the 5th inning, looking to tie or take the lead back from the Texas Rangers. On a chilly night on the south side of Chicago, the pitch. Outside taken, 3-1. With Eloy Jimenez on deck with his 6 home runs so far on the season. The pitch. Chopped down the first base line, just foul. Couple more feet, and that's a double and 2-run score. Will reset. The pitch. This one is chopped up the middle. It's going to be a difficult play. Gibson has to come off the mound and makes a very difficult throw to get Grandal barely at first base. Falling off to the foul line down third base. Gibson makes the throw and gets him. After 5, Sox trail by 1, 3-2. You're listening to a White Sox simulated season. From Sox in the Basement, we use MLB The Show, and I'm going to tell you, if you own MLB The Show, I'm sure Heidi Watney is beautiful in person, but she should sue the makers of this game because that is frightening every time she pops up. Like the close-up. I mean, all these guys, they look like normal guys, right? And I don't know who is drawing the features, but they don't know how to draw a woman. It's frightening. I know you've seen it, and I know you agree with me. Poor Heidi. Exciting inning last inning out there as Ronald Guzman, the first baseman, steps up, batting 5th. The lefty will take a high fastball for a strike from Herrera, who remains in the game. Carson Fulmer and Jace Fry are warming in the bullpen here in the top of the 6th. As this is an outside changeup, 1-1 the count. Herrera delivers. Swung on and missed, 1-2 now the count. The next delivery, swung on and missed inside high cut fastball. He confused him, throws the bat in disgust, and Herrera gets a strikeout to lead off this inning. So while the Sox have the bullpen working just in case, Kelvin Herrera will now get a righty up there, and Todd Frazier was 0 for 2 with one out in the top of the sixth and the pitch on the way. Low inside on the zone, taken for a strike at the knees. Frazier has struck out twice so far. He's hitting 111 on the season, 3 for 27. So a slow start for the Todd father. The pitch. Outside, he lays off of a slider. 1-1 the count. The former White Sox third baseman chops this next one to Encarnacion. It goes off his glove and into right field. Mazzaro's going to cut it off before it gets to the track and get it into second base. That's a single. It was a tough play by Encarnacion, so they're going to rule it a single. He's playing a shift, so he's basically at second base. And he's got to come way over to make that play. And I don't even know if it touched his glove or just skipped near the glove. So a base hit for Frazier with one out in the top of the sixth. And here comes the guy who hit the two-run home run for the Rangers and ruined Gio Gonzalez's day in the fourth inning. Robinson Chirinos steps to the plate, 2 for 2. One of those hits a home run. He has 4 home runs on the season and has been seeing the ball well today. Inside pitch taken for a ball, 1-0 the count. Herrera delivers. Strike on the inside corner up at the letters, 1-1. Carson Fulmer has taken a seat out there. Fry continues to warm. Evan Marshall is now getting warm as well. Inside slider looked like it was in the same spot, but this one's called a ball. 2-1 the count, 1 out, top of the sixth. Sox trail by 1, 3-2 with a runner on first base for the Rangers. Swung on and missed on a changeup. Herrera looks in, Grandal sets. This one's just outside on a four-seam fastball, 3-2 the count, and the Rangers have worked the count to 3-2 more than any team I've seen since the White Sox were in Boston for those long marathon games where they foul off a lot of pitches and they work the count deep. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed on a two-seam fastball. He put it right in the same spot as the changeup was a few pitches earlier and blows it by him. And Rougned Odor steps up 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. He was the third run that scored in that fourth inning and is the reason why the Rangers are up by 1 still, as a high four-seam fastball is taken for a strike. He has 5 doubles so far in the season, leading his team. Herrera delivers. Chop foul, 0-2 the count quickly. 2 outs, top of the sixth. The White Sox had a good chance to tie or take the lead last inning. They were only able to get 1 run in and still trail, as the Rangers were able to survive the middle of their lineup. 2-2 now the count, after a couple pitches missed close. Herrera delivers. High two-seam fastball taken for a ball, 3-2, so the count is full yet again. This one's flared out in the left field. Trailing back is Jimenez. He puts his glove up and will make the catch. So the Sox get 2 strong innings out of Kelvin Herrera, who keeps the Rangers at 3 runs. And midway through the sixth, 3-2 Texas. Jesse Chavez comes in for the Rangers now. He will be the relief pitcher. A righty with 12 innings under his belt and a 0.75 earned run average, 11 strikeouts to 1 walk, and nobody has scored on him. And Eloy Jimenez, 0 for 1 in this game with a walk in the fourth, will lead off the inning, hitting 5th today. First pitch cracked deep down the third base line, tailing towards the foul pole. It might get out. It is caught at the wall. That ball hung up there forever. A brutally high ball, and the wind just wouldn't take it out. Jimenez hit 2 to the wall, but nothing getting out for him today on a long fly out, and there's 1 out now in the bottom of the sixth. It hung up there forever as Nick Goody and Brett Martin warm up for the Rangers, a righty and a lefty respectively. And Encarnacion takes a ball inside, 1-0. The next pitch on the way, swung on and missed on a slider, 1-1 the count. The pitch. This one's chopped foul, 1-2. Jimenez has tried to hit a bomb tonight and has come up just short twice. Inside pitch taken for a ball, 2-2. And honestly, that last one, I mean, it was a towering shot. And the left fielder standing back there with his back against the wall while it's still halfway to him. And you're thinking, that's going to get over. That's going to get over. And it just did not. Jam shot fouled on the first base line. 2-2 the count remains. As Jesse Chavez deals. A line shot to Chavez. He catches it right out of the air. Encarnacion can't catch a break as he hits it right into his glove after the delivery. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Mazara steps in. An outside fastball taken for a ball, 1-0. At least he didn't swing at the first pitch, huh? The next offering. Swung on and chopped to second base. 4-3. The quick put out, and the White Sox go down quickly here in the bottom of the 6th. 2/3 of the way through this game. 3-2 Rangers over the White Sox. Evan Marshall will kick off this inning. 6 games so far under his belt, 8 2/3 inning, a 3.12 earned run average, 4 strikeouts to 2 walks. Right-handed batters are hitting under 200 against him, and lefties are not doing anything that special. He gets a righty, Hunter Cole, right now, is 1 for 2, and he throws an inside changeup taken for a ball, 1-0 the count. The pitch. Inside fastball taken for a strike, 1-1. Marshall. Check swing, but it doesn't matter. That's a strike. Changeup on the outside portion of the plate, 1-2. Cole drove in the 3rd run of this game for the Rangers. The bottom portion of their order has been what has done it for Texas today. Low changeup taken for a ball, 2-2. That and the fact that they wear out the pitchers. This one's a line shot in the left field. Jimenez moves over quickly and gets that one in the gap. As he slowed down on his run, it's going to be a fly out to the left fielder Jimenez. And there's 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Danny Santana's 0 for 2 and he steps in. High fastball taken for a ball, 1-0. The next pitch, low sinker, 2-0. Next one's an inside pitch, way off the plate, 3-0 the count quickly. So a hitter's count to Santana as Nick Solak warms up on the on-deck circle. Check swing taken for a strike on a changeup inside portion of the plate, 3-1 with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Next pitch just misses on the outside and he will walk a batter. So 1 out for Marshall and then he issues the free pass. And Solak will come up 2 for 3 today. So far his best outing of the season, as he was off to a slow start till he met the White Sox and put together 2 singles today. With a runner on first, he takes a 4-seam fastball outside corner of the plate, 0-1 the count. Santana's the leadoff hitter, but he does not have great speed. He's really just average. He's up there for his on-base percentage. Inside 4-seamer, 1-1 the count. The next pitch. Outside corner, catches it, 1-2 now with that fastball taken for a strike. Evan Marshall licks the fingers, adjusts the hat, looks in, and he gets him swinging on an outside sinker, falling away from the plate. Swing and a miss. And Marshall has 2 outs now in this inning. So with a runner on first and 2 outs in the top of the 7th, Elvis Andrus, 0 for 3 so far today, comes up to the plate and sends one out to shallow left field on the first pitch. Jimenez camps underneath it, and the inning is over. We're going to get up, we're going to sing the 7th inning stretch, and maybe, just maybe, it'll be the spark this team needs going into the bottom of the 7th, trailing by 1, 3-2. Interesting fact today, Adam Engel has been up now 3 times, and all 3 times it was to lead off the inning. He's 1 for 2. Other interesting fact is that means Nomar Mazara has been the final out of an inning 3 times. Engel takes a pitch low for a ball, 1-0, and now he sends this one in for a base hit in the left field. So Engel's on right away here in the bottom of the 7th inning with a single in the left. Points into the dugout and says, let's go. The White Sox have a runner on board right away. Jesse Chavez remains on the mound for the Rangers. The righty looks in at Nick Madrigal, who's 1 for 2 with a triple today in his first game. He takes an inside slider for ball 1. Mads, up from the minors. His debut game. Wouldn't it be nice to see him put one out there and get another base hit and contribute some more? Have a day, young fella. This one's below the knees, 2-0 the count. The fans are up and excited. Engel leads. Quick look at him, the pitch on the way. He's going. Outside pitch taken for a ball. Adam Engel is safe at second base on a bang-bang play. And Engel steals second for his first stolen bag of the season, and that was close. Ball beat him there, but the glove does not get down in time. And there was a hesitation by the umpire. And then he was like, yeah, you're safe. Meanwhile, Madrigal's got a hitter's count at 3-0 with nobody out in the bottom of the seventh. Outside pitch, he will walk. So Madrigal gets the walk. He's got a strikeout, a triple, and a walk. There's 2 on now. It'll be interesting to see if Chavez stays in the game. There is some speed on the base paths. And Tim Anderson comes up, 2 for 3. He's already driven in a run in this game. The Rangers taking their time. I don't know if they're going to go with a relief pitcher or not. They will not. So with no outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning, Engel leads off of second, Madrigal off of first, and this is the moment as TA steps in, and the pitch is on the way. High, taken for a ball, 1-0 the count. Sox threatened last inning, could only get 1. They're threatening again right away now in the bottom of the 7th. This one's chopped down the first base line, just foul. TA almost had a double. Engel with the lead. They keep looking back at him, the pitch on the way. This one's fouled off. That was out of the zone. He chased it. 1-2 the count. Anderson in a hole with no outs here in the bottom of the 7th. He's going to chop this one down the third base line. It's going to get under Frazier's glove. Engel's going to come around and score. Madrigal will hold at second base as the throw comes in. And the White Sox have tied this game 3-all. Just gets underneath Frazier's glove down the line. You couldn't have painted it more perfectly down the third base line as it just stayed in that little lane between the grass and the white line all the way down and out into left field. And Todd Frazier could not get it. Brett Martin's going to come in now for his 9th appearance. He's 0-2 with 9 innings pitched for the Rangers and a 5 earned run average, 5.00, 9 strikeouts to 3 walks. There are still no outs here in the bottom of the 7th in a tie ball game with Madrigal on second and Anderson on first and Yoan Moncada to the plate batting righty against a left-handed relief pitcher. He's 0 for 1. He's also got a walk and a hit by pitch, so he's been on base twice. Still hitting .313. And 0 for the long ball now. They keep looking back at the runner on second. These Texas Rangers pitchers are entranced by them. This one catches the inside corner for a strike, 1-1 the count. Steve Cishek warms up in the bullpen for the 8th inning, and the pitch. Outside misses on a 4-seam fastball, 2-1. There's been questions as to whether or not Aaron Bummer's available tonight. If he does come in, he has been used a lot over the last few games. As the Sox tried to take 2 out of 3 from the Royals and were unsuccessful. That may come into play now. 2-1 pitch to Moncada, and this one is fouled off down the first base line. So 2-2, the count is even. The pitch. Chopped down the first base line, foul again. Moncada protecting. The lefty Martin looks in. Big, tall Texas pitcher. He delivers. Low, taken for a ball, 3-2 with Abreu on deck. Hitting .289 with 5 homers and 11 RBIs. He's been stuck on 11 RBIs for a while. Been stuck on 5 homers now for the last 3 or 4 days. The pitch to Moncada. High, taken for a ball, a close pitch, and he lays off it. And the fans are on their feet with the bases loaded now in the bottom of the 7th inning. The White Sox have sent 4 batters up to the plate, and there are still no outs in this inning, but they've only scored 1 run. And Jose Abreu can get them the lead if he can just get it up in the air. He has grounded out 3 times in this game. He's 0 for 3. The last time he was up, Renteria put a hit and run on, and that was the only reason the inning extended, because he hit into a tailor-made double play. Now, a double play would likely still give you the run. Madrigal's likely off at contact. The pitch. And that's a strike, slider down the middle. He takes it, 0-1 the count. Abreu's only hitting .207 right now with runners in scoring position. So .289, but when there has been guys who are available to plate and get runs for your team, he has come up short at least within the first half month of this season. Martin checks the sign and delivers. This one's lifted out deep into center field to at least get one run in. Camped underneath it, and the catch is made. Madrigal will advance, and so will Anderson. Anderson's safe under the tag as it comes into third base after the relay man cuts it off. The White Sox lead 4-3 on the sac fly by Abreu. Nick Madrigal scored twice in this game. Nice debut for him so far. And Grandal comes up now with first and third and one out in the bottom of the seventh inning. The pitch. This one's rifled, and it's scooped out of the air on a great play by Elvis Andrus, who goes straight up and snow cones a line shot that was sure to be at least a single, maybe a double, as it was headed for the gap with a lot of speed on it. So Andrus saves a run and gets an out for his team, and there's two outs in the bottom of the seventh for Eloy Jimenez, who's 0 for 2 with two fly balls all the way out to the wall, and this one's into the right field gap. One run's gonna score. A second run coming around. Jimenez into second base, and he hits a two-out double into the right center field gap on the first pitch. Jimenez shortened the swing up a little bit, stopped going for the long ball. He drives in two, and the White Sox lead this game 6-3. A big seventh inning for the Chicago White Sox. They tack on 4 runs, and they're not done yet with Jimenez on second and Edwin Encarnacion coming up to the plate, and they're going to intentionally walk Encarnacion. Thank you. It's not like he's done much up there. And they want to get to Nomar Mazara. Well, that makes sense. Mazara getting punked by his former team, but it's not like he's giving him a reason not to. So Jimenez on second, Encarnacion on first, and a low pitch taken for a ball, 1-0 to Mazara, who's 0 for 3 on the day today, and has had a rough last 48 hours with this team. He sends this one softly down the first base line, foul. Boston will pick it up, the first base coach, and flip that into the crowd. The 1-1 pitch on the way. This one's rifled into center field, but straight at Santana, who will make the catch, and the inning is over. But not before the White Sox score 4 on a cold and blustery night on the south side of Chicago and go to the top of the 8th inning, leading 6-3. Steve Cishek will come into the game. 8 games under his belt, 1-0 record, 9 innings of scoreless baseball with 10 strikeouts and 3 walks. Opponents hitting under 130 against him. He'll get Joey Gallo here, the 4-hitter. Then he'll get the 5 and 6 hitters in this Rangers lineup. Here with a 3-run lead in the top of the 8th inning, 18,333 announced for tonight's game, as Jace Fry, the lefty, warms up in the bullpen in case he's called upon. So the White Sox likely don't have Bummer available, and will hand it over to Colome in the 9th inning, if all holds up where it is right now. First 2 pitches are outside, 2-0 the count. Detroit beat the Indians 5-0 in Cleveland tonight, as this one's outside for a ball, 3-0 to count now. Cishek tends to have a rough time with the first guy up. Sometimes, though, fights back in the count and still gets him. He's 3-1 here on a get-me-over fastball. The right-handed pitcher to the left-handed Gallo with the sidearm delivery. Here it comes. Swung on and missed on an inside fastball in the hands, and like I said, he fought himself back, and he's 3-2 here now to Gallo. Looks in for the sign from Grandal. The pitch on the way. Swung on and missed on a sinker tailing away, and he strikes out Gallo after going 3-0 in the count against him. So he gets the first batter on the K, swinging. And there's 1 out now in the top of the 8th inning. 6-3 ball game. 1 out, top of the 8th. Ronald Guzman, the first baseman, comes up. Takes a slider on the outside corner. 0-1. He's 0 for 3 in the game today. The pitch. Low just misses on a sinker, 1-1. Next pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Another sinker, about the same area, but he got him this time. 1-2 the count now to Guzman. Cishek looks in, sets, delivers. Low, taken for a ball, 2-2. He is going at the knees right now with sinker against Guzman. Next one, he gets him on a slider that tails away a little bit higher than the rest, but outside, and strikes him out. So he switches it up a little bit after going 3 straight sinkers to the same part of the plate. The slider starts off that way and then tails away. and there are 2 outs in the 8th. Todd Frazier comes up 1 for 3 and wishes he could have corralled that ball, hit down the line in the last half inning, as things open up for the White Sox then. He's 1 for 3 with a single in the 6th inning. He's 0-1 now, and the second pitch on the way. This one is chopped down the first base line. Fair ball. It's going to roll into the corner as they had a shift on, picked up by Mazara and tossed in, but Frazier is in standing up at second base with a double. It would have been a base hit, as it was high enough that I don't think Encarnacion would have gotten it, as it hit the ground and then popped up at a pretty high altitude, let's say. High enough over where Encarnacion could probably leap as it went into the outfield. But the reason it's a double is because of the shift with Mazara way over towards center field. So there's a runner on second with 2 outs in the top of the 8th, and Chirinos comes up and dribbles one to short. Anderson fields it cleanly over to first, and that puts him away. So the White Sox are through the top of the 8th and maintain the 6-3 lead. Alex Colome, or Colome, if you're nasty, warms up in the bullpen here in the bottom of the 8th inning, although Cishek could come in. Renteria will have to determine what he wants to do here, as Colome has been called upon a lot over the last few days. Engels 2 for 3. He steps in and swings and misses at a 2-seam fastball, tailing away from the new pitcher, Nick Goody. Right-handed pitcher comes in here in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Rangers. The pitch to Engel, high fastball taken, 2-1. We've been talking all season long about how Engel's been so effective against lefties but not against righties. Well, guess what? Now it's happening against right-handed hitting. He's faced nothing but righties in both of those hits today, and he's done well all week long against right-handed hitters. And now the count goes full, 3-2 with Madrigal on deck in the 9th spot, and we'll be back up to the 1 in Anderson here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Remember when I said Engel has been leading off every time he comes up? He led off again, and this time, though, he goes down swinging on a low strike as Goody gets him, and there's 1 out. Madrigal's up now with Luis Garcia and Cody Allen warming in the bullpen for the Rangers. Madrigal's 1 for 2 with a walk, a triple, 2 runs scored. And he does have the strikeout in his first at bat, but I don't think that matters to him right now because he has done well since then. Takes a strike, 0-1 the count. The 0-1 pitch, sent down, slow roller to Frazier, who will bobble the ball. Madrigal will be safe at first. It'll be interesting to see what that's called. It was a tough play. They're going to give him an error. So Madrigal reaches first on an error by Frazier at third. He fielded it in the grass, charging it. It went off his wrist on a weird bounce instead of going into his glove. So Nick Madrigal's on first base with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Tim Anderson 3 for 4 with a double, 2 singles, and 3 runs batted in this game. Hitting .364 comes up to the plate, and he has been a beast for the White Sox today with timely hitting and speed. Outside slider taken, 1-0 the count. If you're trying to figure out what Madrigal's going to do on the base paths, he's essentially a very fast base runner who has a very bad move when it comes to stealing bases, at least at this point. That's a swinging strike high in the zone. Anderson is 1-1. Goody delivers. Low out of the zone, 2-1 the count. So the chances of Madrigal actually running flat out on a steal is low. Although if Anderson gets a base hit, he can go first to third very easily. The 2-1 pitch from Goody. Popped up to first base. Catch will be made by Guzman, who comes running in. Catches it closer to the plate than he does to first base. And there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th for Yoan Moncada, who's 0 for 1 in this game. But has been on base a lot and even been hit by a pitch. A high 4-seam fastball he lays off, 1-0 the count. The pitch. Swung on and missed, 1-1. The next pitch, a low changeup out of the zone, 2-1 the count with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. White Sox leading 6-3 in this game. The next one also misses on a low changeup, 3-1 now the count, with Abreu on deck, who finally got off the snide with his 12th RBI the last time he was up. On a deep sacrifice fly. But it was Jimenez who eventually broke this game open with the 2-run double. This one's fouled off down the third base line, and the count goes full. The next pitch on the way. Swung on and missed over the hands on a slider inside. Would have been ball 4. Moncada's mad at himself, but no matter. We go to the 9th inning with the White Sox up 6-3. Cishek is going to remain out with a 3-run lead here in the top of the 9th. Colome is going to continue to warm, but warming up is much different than being used. And he has had some wear and tear on the arm. And with a 3-run lead, Ricky Renteria would like to see if Cishek can get through the 8, 9, and 1 hitters of the Rangers. This one swung on and missed by Odor. 1-1 the count here in the top of the 9th inning. 6-3 White Sox. They try to start off this 4-game set on a good note. They are still a long way away from their first day off. So you have to be tricky and crafty when it comes to your substitutions and your bullpen. There's a 1-2 count now, and the pitch on the way. Swung on and missed on a drop third strike. Grandal tosses it down to first, and that's the first out of the 9th inning. Hunter Cole is 1 for 3. He's got an RBI on this game. Folks, don't forget, after every game you listen to, simulated here by Sox in the Basement, found everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at soxinthebasement.com, you can check out box scores and post-game recap and analysis from the world-famous Sox on 35th blog. Sox on 35th have been doing it for a long time, longer than us, and we'll let them do the blogging. They'll let us do the broadcasting and the podcasting, and we have put together a great partnership, as this one is outside 1-0 the count. Next one is lifted in the right field. Mazzaro's going to camp underneath it for a can of corn, and there's 2 outs in the inning. So Cishek has gotten the first 2 outs, so you might as well let him finish it, as Danny Santana comes in 0 for 2 with 2 walks in the game. With 2 outs in the top of the 9th, the White Sox lead by 3, and Cishek going for the 2-inning closeout of this game. Throws a 4-seamer that's fouled off down the third base line over the dugout. Next pitch on the way. Strike at the knees, and quickly 0-2. The fans up on their feet as the White Sox going for the victory here to start off a 4-game set and a 7-game homestand. Inside, taken for a ball, 1-2. Sox led early, 1-0, then trailed 3-1, clawed back into it, and then blew up in the bottom of the 7th inning. And leading 6-3, this one is sent into the left center field gap, and it's going to get down for a hit. Runner Santana is going to be into second base. He's got a double. You can't worry about that. You got 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning, and a home run here, you'd still have a 1-run lead. But Santana and the Rangers not wanting to go down right now. Next batter up is Nick Solak, who's 2 for 4 in this game, as Cishek looks in righty against righty. Throws one inside at the knees for a strike, 0-1 the count. Got to ignore that runner on second base and finish the game off. Sox have lost 3 out of their last 4. 500 over their last 12 games. Nick Madrigal with a nice debut tonight at second base. And Cishek misses outside on a sinker. He's trying to get him to chase. 1-1 the count. The pitch. Swung on and chopped foul. Back to the backstop. 1-2. So the fans are up again with a 1-2 count with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. The pitch on the way. Oh, he just missed on the outside corner. 2-2. He laid off a close one. Cishek resets. Will do it again. The 2-2 pitch. This one's popped up. Anderson's underneath it, and when it comes down, this ball game will be over. The White Sox come back with a big 7th inning and put this game away to take the first of 4 against the Texas Rangers. Off to a good start back home. A 6-3 victory. The win is going to go to Evan Marshall after Gio Gonzalez strikes out 9 through 4 innings, but has to leave the game because it took him just under 100 pitches to get there. The bullpen comes together. 2 from Herrera. Marshall pitches an inning. 2 from Cishek. And the fireworks light up the sky. Cishek will get the 2-inning save. Chavez takes the loss for the Rangers. And Nick Madrigal has a great debut. But Tim Anderson is your player of the game. 3 for 5 with 2 doubles and 3 big RBI in this game. Congrats to Eloy Jimenez, too. 1 for 3 with that big 2 RBI double that busted this game open and put it out of reach. Nick Madrigal, as we said, he went 1 for 3. He had a walk. He had a triple. He scored 2 runs. And Adam Engel, 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. He was all over the place tonight. We will be back tomorrow night for the second of this 4-game set against the Texas Rangers. Reynaldo Lopez will take the mound. You have been listening to a White Sox simulated season brought to you by Cork and Carry at the Park, located on the corner of 33rd and Princeton. Visit them on Grubhub or at corkandcarryatthepark.com now. And you've also been listening to Sox in the Basement, found everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at soxinthebasement.com. Goodbye, everybody.
Sox in the basement. Sox in the basement. Sox in the basement.
Sox in the Basement. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always on soxinthebasement.com.